The Kentucky Oaks Day $100 budget edition of the Notorious OTB on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Naira Bets. Bet the Kentucky Derby by using code SGPN25 for a $25 free bet plus a $200 deposit match bonus at nairabets.com/SGPN25 and start winning today. Welcome, everybody, to the Notorious OTV, brought to you by the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. And folks, as always,
it's all good, baby. It was all a dream.
We used to read Blood Horse magazine. I got my Cuban links
on.
Yes,
Cuban B.
I'm your host, Chase Sessoms, the Wolf of Oaklawn.
I'd rather be trapped than lazy. Don't care what they say, I'ma do what pays me.
It happens every year about this time. Weaklings act like they lost their mind. Alphas reclaim the neighborhood. Rob the sheep and all the wolves get good.
Yes. Welcome to the show. Joining me, as always, you might know him as the Michelangelo of the crime, Michael Jordan. He's your favorite capper's favorite capper. Ladies and gentlemen, Barry the Sniper Spears.
You know how we do. Rockefeller. Forever. You catch me skating through your town, putting it down. Y'all relating, no waiting. I'll make your block infrared hot. I'm like Satan.
And Barry, it's Derby week. We've got guests all week. We got our mans. We got our mans joining us.
Our man.
You might know him from his work with the DRF. You might know him from his fantastic podcast. That's what G said. Ladies and gentlemen, from the LBC.
I ain't never ran from nothing but the police. From the city where the skinny kept strong heat, Northside, Long Beach. Northside, Long Beach.
Oh.
Gino Buccola. What's up, Gino?
So much drama in the LBC. It's kind of hard being GINOB. What is going on? Chase, Barry, hope we're all doing well, getting ready for Kentucky Oaks and Kentucky Derby days coming up. And you pointed out everyone who's playing, you want to head to shop.drf.com. They got all the tools that you need, the past performances, the clocker reports, help on betting strategies. If you're playing Friday or Friday and Saturday, make sure to check out drf.com.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
They got all the stuff. If you can't get educated with all that stuff the DRF has, you're just not trying.
And it's whatever you need, right? If you're someone with the past performances, if you want a little bit more help with the betting strategies, maybe the clocker reports are also something that you look for. And then they've got that big players guide. So if you're someone who just wants the past performances, we've got that for you, or as much information as you need on a big weekend like this.
I'll say the formulator has changed how I handicap maiden races.
Right?
Changes life.
In depth with it. Changes lives. Changes lives. All right, guys. We're here. We're Derby week. We talked Derby yesterday. I'm wearing my pink one day in advance because we're continuing the special Derby week coverage with Oaks Day. Barry, Gino, and I have dug through this card from the rooter to the tutor to find our best bets on Kentucky Oaks Day with a $100 budget. So we're talking Churchill Downs this Friday. That's right. Friday, the 2nd of May, year of our Lord, 2025. Post time for this card, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. God's time, 8 a.m. Pacific time on the Pacific Coast. And, of course, this includes the $1.5 million Grade 1 Kentucky Oaks. Gino, I'll ask you first. What did you think of this card overall?
Really good. It's Friday. You get I think Friday you get a couple more of the big names. Like earlier on the card, you'll see Torpedo Anna, Fierceness, some like real legitimate runners. I thought of the two, like Saturday is probably the more tough gambling card where some bigger fields are a little bit more challenging, but really, really solid. You get the combination of like stars, good rate, like quality races, and then good gambling races. And, the Oaks is a solid group. Good Cheer's the one to beat, but I think there's a plenty of options if you don't want to go with Good Cheer.
Completely agree. Barry, what about you? What did you think of this Oaks Day card?
Fantastic. It's a precursor to the Derby for sure. You know, it's not as extensive as the Derby card, but as far as quality goes, it's almost as good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we're about to dig in, start giving our $100 budget bets for the Kentucky Oaks Day. Real quick, remember, support SGPN's free content by taking a second to give us 5 stars and subscribe. And don't forget, get yourself a bag of the Breakaway Bowl from our good friends, the Sure Betties at Sure Bet Coffee. Remember, $1 of every bag sold is donated to Equine Aftercare. So it's a good cause and it's great coffee.
It's time to fuck shit up with Sure Bet in your cup.
Gino, I channeled XFL Jim there, and that only took me 2 takes, by the way. You're muted, Gino.
Gino got it first.
I got it first. Jimbo, though, can usually catch it on 1 take. He doesn't even need that second take. That's the difference. Yeah.
Yeah. The difference is Gino is that Jimbo could just give a flying fuck how things turn out. Like it just works for Jim, you know.
And he just goes with it.
I need that second take. I need that second take for assurance. All right, guys, let's pull up some past performance here, courtesy of the DRF, I might add. Barry, you have the first play of the day. You're kicking it off on Oaks Day, race 4. What are you doing here?
$20 win bet on number 7, Beauty Reigns. I think this horse is sitting on a decent race. Last time at Keeneland, first off the bench since January 30th. Ran a much improved race, probably getting back to what this horse wants to do is sprint on the dirt. I expect with Alvarado on this time, this horse is going to be a little bit more forwardly placed and should get a good trip behind the speeds here. And I think this is a nice horse to start off the card with a winner.
There we go. And that was race 4, the $125,000. Non-winners of one something. I'm not here to read your fucking conditions. Optional claimer on the dirt. We're fast and furious here through the 4 through 7 stretch because race 5, 8.5 furlongs, the grade 2 Edgewood Stakes, $600,000, 8.5 furlongs on the turf. You get your first win bet in here, Gino. What are you doing for race 5?
Yeah, this race actually starts a pick 5 too. I almost put a pick 5 in, but the couple of the races could be a little bit chalky in between. So I'm just going to go a win wager. I thought there were 3 or 4 different horses that could win this race. I think the horse to beat is certainly Nitrogen for Mark Cassie. I think to the outside, Will Then is really legit. I got a feeling that the 2 Vixen is actually going to float up a little bit in here. And Vixen had some legitimate trouble last time out. Vixen and Nitrogen were both in the same race. They were the top 2 betting choices. Vixen was down on the inside saving ground, and Nitrogen went to the outside, got a wider trip, got a clear trip, while Vixen got stopped, had to wait, and then came on for second. So kind of like what Barry was doing. I'll give myself maybe a little bankroll builder early in the card. If I can get a horse here who's going to be like 3, I actually wouldn't be shocked if this horse even floated up a little bit, was like 7-2 or kind of 4-1. That's what I'm looking for, something right in that range. So that's where I put my 20 spot.
2 things. One, I love Vekoma babies. Everyone loves Vekoma babies. I guess I'm not saying anything new to any horse player out there. But 2, what I really like about Gino, and I think Gino does like exceptionally well, better than a lot of cappers I know, is his trip handicapping, watching these replays and getting a good idea of like what the good trip was. So whatever he tells me that was a bad trip last out, like I believe him, and I believe him, you know, that it's ready to run on for the next one. So just a little shout out to you, buddy.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, that's the one thing that I kind of pride myself in, making sure I'm watching a lot of the replay. That's where I think I find the stuff that I like the most, like stuff that might not be in the running lines. So yeah. And Vixen is a great name too, right? I mean, anytime you can talk about someone being a Vixen or mention some of the reindeer, you're good to go, right?
Yeah. That's a win on 2 accounts, All right, guys, I uncork it, and I'm doing it in the most awkward of places, guys. I have a feeling everyone avoided this race, but I say life's too short to not dream big and be bold. My first play comes in race 7, 8.5 furlongs, the $1.5 million La Troyenne Stakes, a grade 1 on the dirt, of course. And I'm playing a $20 win bet on the number 4 Raging Sea at 92.
I like this play.
Let's go.
I'm
no
also
chalk
going
zone.
to play a $5 trifecta, 4-5 with 2 with 1-4-5. It's no secret who the favorite in this race is and will be. It's Torpedo Anna. It gets the 2-5 morning line favoritism in this race, the La Troyenne. I've had this gut feeling, though, that she's a beatable horse. I think that this field is a talent level that she hasn't faced in a little bit, and it might be enough to upset her. First, why do I think she's beatable? She topped out at 100 Beyer speed figure in the BC Distaff last year. Since she's been back, she's seen 2 straight steps back in the speed figure department, and did so for facing for lack of better terms, some soup cans. She gets a fuller field and more talented horses today. She's going to have to look other horses in the eye, and I don't think she has this thing her own way on the front end. So I'm win betting the 4 Raging Sea at 9-2. I think I likely get more than that when the money pours in on Torpedo Anna. Raging Sea is the first run horse that should be saving ground at the rail, that will have every opportunity to come running late with the projected pace. Chad Brown puts in Raging Sea fresh off the layoff since the BC Distaff with regular rider Flavian Pratt. On a figure standpoint, it looks like Raging Sea is building up to a big effort, while Torpedo Anna could feasibly take a step backwards. And if you look at Torpedo Anna's track record, you see a horse that finishes second when she doesn't win. So I'm going to get cute with that $5 base trifecta, keying her in second. And first, I'll use the 2 overlays I think could win, the 4 and the 5, Raging Sea and randomized. And then in third, I'm going to wheel in the 1, Darth Vader, at 30-1 as an earlier speed horse. I think can maybe hold for a little piece with Raging Sea and randomized. So that was a $20 win on number 4, Raging Sea, the number 5, and a $5 trifecta, 4-5 with 2 with 1-4-5. Am I crazy?
No. So when you win, are you gonna tweet or post on social media anywhere that Torpedo Anna wants to be a mommy?
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can be that guy.
You know it's gonna happen if she loses.
And you're right. Like and maybe she's got a step forward more. She hasn't been running that fast this year in her 2 races.
No, she was so in the last race. Very so.
This I think the 2 horses that she hit absolutely could beat her if they're on their A game. And as Barry pointed out when we previewed this race, Chad Brown can get these horses ready to rock off the bench. And this particular one, she fired last year off the bench in her first start in almost an identical layoff, right, Chase? She came off the bench from November, showed back up, wins the double dog dare in the same exact time in between starts. I think she's going to run a big one.
I mean, I like hearing that. Sometimes you just need a little bit of a sanity check. We have the next play kicking off in race 8. Gino cooked up a pick 4 for us, but real quick, before we hit Gino's pick 4, got to get a word in from our good friends at Edge Boost, because Edge Boost is the first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved, no usage fees, no minimums, earn cash back rewards, and a 100% approval for all betting deposits. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with promo code SGPN. Deposit $25 and Edge Boost will match the deposit. That's edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. And of course, it is Derby week here at SGPN. Make sure you stay tuned into us for all week for all the betting action this entire weekend. Plus, get in on the action of the most exciting 2 minutes in sports with Naira Bet. Sign up today and boost your Derby bankroll with a $25 free bet and a $200 deposit bonus with promo code SGPN25. Join now to claim your $25 free bet and $200 deposit match bonus at nairabets.com/SGPN25. And if you excuse me, I need to get a brief rehydration interlude in.
I got ice all over my body looking like a snowman. Big rocks in the grill dancing like a slow jam. My chain's so heavy I'm walking like an old man. Try me, you.
Definitely walk like an old man.
I'd 100% walk like an old man. We're back. What are Barry, Gino, and I doing? We're giving out free picks.
And I make nothing. Zero. Zilch. By the time I pay all my scientists, all my people in my research department, lab coats, it's a wash. Well, why you do it then, baby Billy? Well, because I'm selfless.
All right. Gino, I'm going to tell you before we get into your pick 4, like this is going to 100% tax my organizational skills of getting through this episode while hitting like all the races and everything. So if I start to leave you out, please like speak up and say something. It is not intentional. You're muted, buddy.
I was gonna say no problem. And Goggins is having a moment right now too, right? With White Lotus, like he's about as like big of a deal now.
Oh man, he's
ever
star,
been,
bro.
because he's always been kind of like one of those side characters and a great one. You know, like someone that you would have been like, oh yeah, he's in that movie or that. But this is kind of the first time in the last couple of years where he's been like leading man type, and recently with White Lotus. But let's go pick 4. So
yeah,
pick 4 starts in race number 8. It's in this race, I think. Give Me Another, Suggesta, She Feels Pretty, Saffron Moon. I think all 4 of them will take some money and it'll be spread out a little bit. I think She Feels Pretty is going to be a really short price. I really like Give Me Another. And I like Give Me Another second start off the bench after a long layoff, second start in the U.S. after running over in South Africa. Now Graham Motion has had plenty of time to figure this one out. I'm expecting an even better effort than when she was second behind Saffron Moon. So I want to lean on her because I think in this race, a lot of people are probably going to go 3 deep maybe and use a couple of the logicals. If I can get out of this race and only have used 1, then I've got a ton of coverage in the last 3 races of the pick 3. That gives me a chance to go to race number 9, which is the 8 Bells. And in that race, I've got a bunch of horses we can use.
We're going to pump the brakes for just 1 second, Gino. We're going to roll through yours as we hit like other bets that are through the sequence.
Absolutely. So for me, 8th race, it's all about the 2. Give Me Another. That's going to be my single to kick off the pick 4.
Okay, awesome. Barry, you have a daily double starting in race 8 that rolls into race 9. Go ahead.
Yeah, I have sort of the same idea that Gino has with his selection, but I just used the horse that beat Give Me Another last time, Saffron Moon. Not that She Feels Pretty isn't capable or can't win this race. We're just trying to beat the favorite coming off a layoff from December 26th. So she might be vulnerable in this spot. We're going to hope so. As Saffron Moon had 2 races this year, 2 very improved races this year, and I think that improvement's going to continue. So I'm going to single Saffron Moon in this race for the daily double.
There we go. And you roll into race 9, 8 Bells, $600,000, 7 furlongs on the dirt here at Churchill Downs. How are you closing out your daily double?
I am closing it out with 2 horses, the 8 Blue Fire and the 9 Bourbon Memory. And the 8 Blue Fire is also a $20 win bet in this race. Now I'll talk about that horse first. Blue Fire has been running in state-bred Louisiana races and steps up into this class, but I think this horse is fast enough to get the job done. Is cutting back in distance off of a 1.70-yard race, and I think that's the key here because that positioning that Blue Fire will probably have will be slightly off the pace, and it will accentuate her kick. So we're going to use Blue Fire for the win and in the double, and we're also going to use in the double number 9 Bourbon Memory for almost the same reasons, except for this horse is going synthetic to dirt, which is a little dirty pig boy angle, correct?
Little pig boy.
Can I get the definition?
Little pig boy. He's that pathetic dirty bitch baby mistress gets to stand on.
Of note, on the January 31st race for this horse at Turfway, this horse beat a horse by the name of Bred to Run who came back opening day at Churchill to win. So this is definitely something to think about. But we're going to use the 8 and the 9 in the double and then an $20 win bet on the 8 Blue Fire.
There we go. Now, Gino, you've got your pick 4 rolling into race 9, but I also like what you're doing here by starting a more concentrated, more focused kind of pick 3 along with it. Do you want to take us through what you're doing in this leg?
Yeah. So 9th race, I'm going to start the pick 3, and we'll the horses I like the most. There'll be a lot of overlap, but why I'm doing that is that if my single doesn't win the 8th race and I'm knocked out right off the bat, I can come back. I can play a pick 3 leading into the Kentucky Oaks and have some nice prices in the mix in those 3 races, a pick 3 that would still play very well. So the horses who I like the most in race number 8, shout out because Barry heard me doing this quite a bit yesterday. Wake me up inside. Can't wake up inside. Call my name and save me. So Evanescence,
man,
is who I like.
Gino, we should get Gino to replace Tony Two Takes.
I just gotta say, for the record, Evanescence, Pride of Little Rock, Arkansas. Shout out to my friend Will Boyd, the original bass player for Evanescence.
Good times. So, anyways, I think this is one of the big price horses that's kind of fun to use in some of the late exotics because she hasn't really run a bad race. She's now going to go third start of the form cycle. She's down on the inside. She's going to get some pace to chase in here. I think Evanescence is really interesting. So I'm going to use the 2, 7, and 10 as the main horses in this race. Those are the horses who I have on my pick 3 and on the pick 5. The 7 was incredibly impressive. The 10, Impulse Buy, was so good last year as a 2-year-old that if she's grown up at all as a 3-year-old, she might be good enough off the bench to just win this thing. I respect the 12, Wolfie, Eclatant, and I'll use her in the pick 4s. But in a pick 3 situation where I'm going to shorten up a little bit, I chucked her out and used a couple others. Horses who I have in the pick 4 here: 2, 5, 7, 8, 10, and 12. The 5, we didn't mention a whole lot. That's Verity, who's super logical. The 8, interesting Louisiana bred, who should be flashing some good speed in there. And then we went to the outside horses, the 10 and the 12. So I'll be spreading out a little bit in this 9th race, second leg of the pick 4, and also starting a pick 3.
There we go. Well, I have action in this race as well, but I'm not taking it horizontal. I'm getting exotic with it. I'm going with a $5 exacta here. Barry, you're going to like what I have to say because it's going to be 8-9 with the 8-9-10.
Look at us. Hey, look at us. Look at us. Huh? Who would have thought? Not me.
No chalk zone. Let's go.
Yeah, so that's a $20 play total for 8-9 with 8-9-10. And see, this is the shit that gets me made fun of. But I think this base is too hot for a horse to win the 8 bells on the front end. And I have 3 horses that I think should be hard sent for the front and then a close-up stalking second wave of the pace. And I expect a track that's going to be carrying early speed. So I don't necessarily need to look deep in this race shape and can stick with early speed and first runs for part of my part wheel exacta. I'm using 2 horses in first, the number 8 Blue Fire at 12-1 and the number 9 Bourbon Memory at 8-1. You pretty much covered what we were going to talk about with Blue Fire and with Bourbon Memory. So I'm using those, and then I'm wheeling in Impulse Buy into second. Part of the reason that I'm doing that is I know that Rudy Brissett wins horse races. He's got an 18% winning percentage on the year. I've never in my life actually seen a race that Rudy Brissett wins. So I've never seen one of his horses cross the wire first. I know it's amazing, but it's like Bigfoot. It's like,
don't believe it until you see it.
Don't believe it until you see it. So I'm wheeling him into second there because I will be watching this race. So that's race 9 there. We're about to hit race 10. Gino, go ahead. What are you doing with your pick 3 and pick 4 through race 10, 5.5 furlongs, the Unbridled Sydney Stakes on the turf?
So hopefully I hit the first 2 legs of my pick 4. If that's the case, in the pick 4, I'll have 3, 4, 5, and 9. All 4 of the horses that I think are logical. In a pick 3 situation, I'll shorten up a little bit and I'll use 3, 4, and 5. Those are the horses who I like the most in here. I just want to make sure that if Give Me Another wins and Queen Maxima wins, I'm still alive because I think she can, but I don't necessarily love her as much as some of the others. AG Bullet's the horse to beat, no doubt. That's the 4, but she has not raced since December. I thought there were 2 others that were really interesting from kind of opposite ends of the spectrum. First, the 3, Gavia, she's going to be coming from way out of it. I think she's going to be sitting back and she's going to make 1 late run with Pratt aboard. So I'm expecting her to be mowing them all down late. Then the 5, totally opposite. Epona's Hope, she can fly. I think there are versions of this race where maybe she's faster than everybody else. And if she can clear the field and sneak away, I just want to make sure that if she's got a length on the field at the top of the lane, I've got her. So I'll use 3, 4, and 5 all over the place. I throw the 9 in on the pick 4 as well. I think I got the race pretty well spotted as far as the running styles of horses, who's going to be on the lead, who can be sitting close, who can be coming from off the pace.
Okay, so that's the horizontal strategy through race 10. Barry, you are also going to get exotic with us this play because you've got an exacta and try that you're playing in race 10.
Yeah, we're gonna mix it up a little bit here. I usually don't give out bets like this, but this situation kind of, in my opinion, called for it because I think AG Bullet is the goods and will not lose the 10th race on Friday. That being said, I'm going to do a $5 exacta and a $5 try. The exacta, I'm going to use the 2 and the 3, the 2 Awesome Treat and the 3 Gavea underneath. Awesome Treat is like Johnny on the spot. They really should rename that horse that. Just shows up and wins or is around it at big prices. In fact, if you look at the past performances, April 18th, 2024, this horse won a allowance race at Keeneland, 5.5 on the turf at 51-1. So he's no stranger to showing up at big numbers. And we're going to use also Gavea underneath, who should be closing late. I like the idea of Pratt getting on this horse. He'd probably be involved a little bit earlier than he was last time, and that may make all the difference. Now, with the try, I'm going to use Queen Maxima for second in case she decides to show up, which I think Gino thinks she is. We're going to key her for second and then use those same the 2 and the 3 underneath for third.
There we go. I also have a play going into the Kentucky Oaks with a daily double here starting in race 10. I'm playing a $10 daily double, the 9 with the 914, and my daily double kicks off with a single in this leg, heading into some prices I like in the Kentucky Oaks. And I thought that the Unbridled Sydney Stakes was maybe one of the more formful races on this card, despite it being a 5.5 furlong, turf sprint, which can be chaotic. And I'm singling the 9 Queen Maxima because I think that the favorite, the 4 Ag Bullet or AG Bullet, whatever it is, at 8-5 is just a little bit pace compromised. And I think it's a first run horse like this Jeff Mullins filly that's won 4 straight out at Santa Anita that takes advantage of it. And, you retain Juan Hernandez, and I love the Bullet workout followed by a long, slow 5 furlong workout heading into this race. And then we headed into the big one, race 11, the Kentucky Oaks. I'm going to use 2 prices I like in the Kentucky Oaks leg of this daily double, and I will press my top opinion in the next leg with a win bet. I'm using the number 9, Tenma, for Bob Baffert at 12-1. And if you look at the previous performances, second off the layoff for this horse, you're not worried about how light the speed figure was in the Santa Anita Oaks, because I don't think the Tenma was really asked. And the other horse I'm using is the 14 Quiet Side at 8-1. For Johnny Ortiz, with Jose Ortiz up, no relation. This horse is very game, as it showed in his throwdown with Simply Joking in the Fantasy Stakes at Oaklawn. And honestly, both of these horses, from that exacta, feel a little disrespected in this spot. But what's kind of understandable, because, given that they're going against the 6-0 Good Cheer, who's 3-0 at Churchill Downs. So that's my daily double starting in race 9, starting in race 10. The 9 with the 914 for $10, a $20 total play. We got the big one coming up. So real quick, got to get quick word in from our good friends at Underdog, because it's time for my bonus Underdog Pick'em. Barry will tell you what my Underdog Pick'em. It's the same every time. Because Underdog Pick'em, you can play any sport and win up to 100 times. Listen, guys, what's my Underdog play? I take everybody and I go higher on everything, because I believe that you should believe in your goddamn self. So sign up with promo code SGPN to claim your special pick plus first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN. And of course, we are brought to you by the good nerds at Rhythm. Rhythm is your home for AI-backed picks and props. Dominate the NBA playoffs and MLB prop market with Rhythm. Build your own model. It's simple and easy, and Rhythm knows you'll love everything about it. That's why they're giving you a 7-day free trial. Rhythm has some amazing deals going on now. 25% off monthly subscriptions with promo code SGPN25 and 50% off annual subscriptions with promo code SGPN50. That's RITHMM, promo code SGPN25 or SGPN50. Get your 7-day free trial, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. And if you excuse me, I have to get another brief rehydration interlude in.
Can I make my phone call? Do I have rights? Can I make my phone call?
Who you gonna call?
Huh?
Who you gonna call?
Yo, mama.
All right. Race 11. Gino, you've got a bunch of action.
Gino is not impressed.
Not
I love
impressed
it.
by the.
I love
All right.
it.
Gino, you're wrapping up a whole lot of action in the big one. Here with the Kentucky Oaks. 9 furlongs. It's the grade 1. It's $1.5 million, of course, on the dirt. We're playing hero ball here. Who are you slapping homers with instead of bunting singles with? Who you got?
The two horses who I hope I'm alive to, at least in my pick 3, because I like them both the most, are the 2 and the 6. We'll start with the 6 first, who's going to be my top selection. Probably a horse who I'd make some win wagers on if she is like anything above 8-1. I think it's a great spot for Ballerina d'Oro. She finally gets a big field where she'll get legitimate pace to chase. Her last 2 races, short fields on the dirt, where she had to kind of go against what she does best. She had to get into those races a little bit earlier if she was trying to win those races. I think it'll be just a way different situation for her. It'll be 3rd start of the form cycle, and I just think she will be running so well late. She's kind of green and quirky too. You see her. So I think there's still some upside with her. She's in great hands with connections with Chad Brown and Flavian Pratt. So hopefully I'm alive to something coming into the Kentucky Oaks. If I can have the pick 3 alive to the 2 and the 6, I'd feel really nice about it. If my pick 4 is alive, I would have the 2, the 6, also the 7, Lacara, who I think Mark Cassey said, like, we're going to be on the lead. If you guys want to try to be on the lead, you can come try to push us, but you're not going to be on the lead. He basically told everybody they're going to be out front. And as we are recording this right now, we just got news that 5G is out. The 8 is going to be out. So that's going to change the complexion a little bit because that'll take away some of the speed in this field. So 10 and 11 are both on my tickets as well. Take Charge My Lady. Now, there have been some concerns about her because she was dealing with a quarter crack. I feel like if she's in the starting gate and if the vets checked her and if Ken McPeak feels like she's good, I'm going to give her a shot and I'm going to have her on some of my tickets. And then Good Cheer is the horse to beat. So if we can get here, 2 and 6 are the ones I like the most. I'll use a bunch of others, but it's a really challenging race because you guys talked about Tenma. She certainly could win. Horse like the 1 early on, I don't have on my ticket. She could win. How about the 14? She's another one that I don't have on my ticket. She could win. It's a really challenging Oaks.
So, Gino, there exists a unpublished episode of the Notorious OTB with Jessica Tugwell where I gave out a $24 pick 5 ticket that ended up paying $35,000. I forgot to bet it. I did not publish it. There's no public record of what I'm saying is true, but I promise you. And the horse that brought it home, Lacara, when she broke her maiden.
Oh, there we go. So you got
beast mode.
Yeah. And I like how Mark Cassey has been very open about like the pattern with her, how he brought her into the race. He thought she ran really well a couple starts back, and then she probably wasn't going to run as well at Gulfstream in a quick turnaround, but he needed to run that race to build up her fitness. Like it had to be like a means to the end to get another race in there. And I think she's peaking at the right time. She's training really well in the morning. So I want to make sure to use Lacara in some spots for sure.
Nice. I zigged. Listen, I respect your take with simply joking because I feel like you could literally flip a coin and take either side of the exacta from the fantasy stakes and have a good shot at winning this race. And I went to just some good old Arkansas connections, man, with Quiet Side with a $20 win bet to finish out my $100. Listen, we got Johnny Ortiz, we got Jose Ortiz, we got Shortleaf Stables, the winningest owners in Oaklawn history. I really think that this horse has a chance to run really well because Quiet Side looks simply joking in the eye, and they threw down, and Quiet Side came out ahead. I do worry a little bit that maybe there was a little too much exerted in that race, but I still think the Quiet Side probably gets a good trip, sitting a stalking trip out wide, maybe clear of any kickback if we do have a muddy track. So I really love Quiet Side in that spot. And I'm going to go ahead and hit it with the win bet. Barry, you don't have an Oaks play necessarily. Do you have an Oaks horse?
Yes. I like Tenma quite a bit, actually. I like that last race. It was kind of a good prep, real easy one for this race. I think it sets up pretty well for her. I'm kind of torn because I think Lakara is going to run big too. So those are probably the two I'm going to use the most.
There we go. Well, Barry, we'll go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and do this now. Barry, your last play is in fact your bailout play, because guys, we have held back our juiciest morsels to save for you at the end of the day to get out with a little bit of profit. It's our sure bet bailout bets.
I'm leaving here with something. You know what I mean? I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
I think we should let people know that exact same conversation happens after we stop taping every time.
Yeah.
I'm leaving here with something.
Yeah, man. Pretty much.
Get mine. I'm going to get mine.
Barry, you closed it out in the finale, race 13 with a win bet. Where are you going?
I'm going to number 7, La Neige. This horse on April 7th ran like an inside-outside kind of race. So the horse was in the 4 spot, ended up 4 wide, and kind of looked like he was going to stop, or she looked like she was going to back up, and then runs on again, ducks into the rail. And I think a lot of that has to do with who was riding this horse. Positive rider switch over to Pratt for this event. But if you look at that race, you can tell that horse is just figuring it out sort of near the end of the race. And I think that goes a long way, especially with the experience this horse has. 2 starts. Nobody really that looks overwhelming or any hot kind of favorites or first time starters. I think this is a good spot for this horse. 10-1. I couldn't resist. We're going to bail out with La Neige in the last.
I didn't get the opportunity to say this earlier, so I will say son of Saucy William, Riley Mott here. We're gonna backtrack because I like what Gino did. He put his foot down in the Oaks, which I assume is probably his best opinion on the card for a bailout bet. Where are you going with your bailout from the Oaks?
Yep, it's Ballerina d'Oro. Hopefully, and what's nice about a bailout with a big price like this, right? If my $100 at this point is done, I can come back here with like $10 and be up on the day still. With like a little win on Ballerina d'Oro. So that's going to be my bailout play because it's the strongest opinion. It's towards the end of the card, and I think she'll get a really good trip.
There we go. Now my bailout comes from the final play. I'm taking the 2. Oriya, I guess will be the names for William Cowens with the Axeman Luan Machado up. Just listen, it looks like we're going to get a muddy track that looks increasingly more possible as we get into Oaks Day. And I've got just a monster wet Tomlinson figure here at 447. We're coming off the synthetic, which has been well established, is 100% a dirty little pig boy angle.
Little pig boy comes from the dirt. He's a Weasley little mud grub who needs to be stood on. Little pig boy.
So my bailout to the hoop, number 2, Oriya. That's it, guys. We've Oaks dated. Barry, how do you feel about recapping picks?
I feel great about it because I feel great about these picks like I always do.
Yeah.
That's why.
I feel you.
I'm feeling that.
Yeah. I like that you're not doing that on obligation this time. This was for the love of the game. Here we go.
Yes. All right. So we're going to start it off in race 4, $20 to win on number 7. Race 8, $10 daily double, 8 with 8-9. Race 9, $20 to win on the 8. Race 10, $5 exacta, 4 with 2-3. And a $5 try, 4 with 9 with 2-3. And the bailout, race 13, $20 to win on number 7, La Neige. Collect your cash and be out, son.
There you go. Gino, you have the distinction of 2 things. One, getting the cutest graphic ever made for our picks, and also being the first to ever have 2 columns. Here we go.
Look at my 2 columns there. I love this little guy. That's look at this guy. That's what G said. How about that? That's for my, I love that. Yeah. I like that. Yeah. So
it all means something. It's amazing.
we went through the pick 4 that's going to start in race number 8. So you can see how it's mapped out. That's where I singled the 2. In the 5th race, we got 20 to win on the 2. That can hopefully build us a little bankroll. It's really all about the 2s. The deuces are wild, as my guy Vin Scully would have said. And I even make sure, Chase, that with my last $2 that I had of my bankroll available, if Gimme Another wins, and then if Wake Me Up Inside, can't wake up. Wake me up inside, can't wake up. Call my name and say. So if those 2 win back to back, I'm going to get something at least. Heck, that daily double for $2 would probably pay $150 or $200.
Gino, if that Evanescence song isn't already on your karaoke playlist, I think you should strongly consider adding it, because that's some nice Amy Leon we're getting right there.
Behind me singing the male and female versions of A Whole New World. That's my number 1 go-to. I do the Aladdin and the Jasmine versions back and forth.
Yeah, when you start doing call and response with yourself is when things get a little bit unnerving there. Let's write it in there, Gino. All right. Here we go. On Friday, here are my Kentucky Oaks Day $100 budget bets. Race 7, I'm playing a $20 win on the 4 Raging Sea and a $5 trifecta King, Torpedo, Anna in second, 4-5 with 2 with 1-4-5. Race 9, we got a $5 exacta that I think everyone loves. 8-9 with 8-9-10. Race 10, we're playing a $10 daily double using Queen Maxima? Is that right? Yeah. The 9 in race 10, singled in a daily double to the 9 and the 14, Tenma. And then my top pick, Quiet Side, who I will be placing a $20 win bet on in the Oaks. There we go, Nick Sievers. There is the typo, because that's supposed to be a win on 14 instead of 4. Guys, there's always one. There's always one typo in the graphics. So
we're only human.
If you found that Easter egg. What's that new hat?
We're only human. We're not bots, right? You're not like an AI or anything like that. You're gonna make a mistake here and there.
Sure, I've seen Fat Wolf. He looks like he's AI.
Could be.
Yeah. What's that? You guys were saying something about new hats. What's going on?
Oh, look at that.
Something about Junior Mafia.
That's nice.
Where your NOTB Junior Mafia Pride?
Yes,
with Pride, I guess.
No K in there. No K.
Oh,
We're not the new kids on the block.
Yeah,
we're not them.
Yeah, it was pretty funny to me when it was alerted to me that that was actually shockingly close to NKOTB.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
We're better than them though.
Yeah, but you blow everybody's mind this time, didn't I? I love me some new kids on the block.
I grew up in Boston, and they were at the height of their popularity when I was a kid, and it was insane. Them and Belle Biv DeVoe actually are from Boston. So
I've got one of those VHSs of their like live concert. It's so funny to watch back.
New Edition also. That was the other one. It was New Edition,
they were.
New Kids on the Block, Belle Biv DeVoe, all from Boston.
And that's what's great about jumping on the Notorious OTB with you fellas. You never know what topic is going to come up.
Tidbits of information.
How many other horse racing shows are we talking about New Kids on the Block, right? Not many.
Zero, son. I can tell you right now. None. I watched them all.
Yeah, that's right.
Trust me, I did.
Every one of them. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Guys, that's going to do it for us here at the Notorious OTB, brought to you by the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. We will be back tomorrow. We've held back everything all week. We're doing our Derby show, $100 budget. We got our man Matthew DeSantis from Naira Bets. He's going to be joining us to give us his $100 budget plays too. So check us out. That's going to be a special early start time, 11 o'clock Eastern, 10 a.m. God's time, 8 a.m. Pacific time on the Pacific Coast. And guys, we will see you then. We love you. Bye-bye.